precious.
Hi.
Hi.
I must ask you a question.
Oh!
How long have you owned this car?
I have had this beautiful 2015 Macan S for 6 months, and I have loved it.
You know what we should do then? A 6-month review.
Awkward high five.
Today we're going to answer a few questions with this 6-month review. First one, why did you purchase this car versus any other car, and has it lived up to your needs?
Secondly, how it has compared to the Cayenne.
Third, what would you change about it?
Fourth must be, like, would a base be enough?
How is it on a road trip? Does it make you tired, or can you drive it all day?
Come along with us as we answer these extremely important questions.
Well, hello there. Do you want to win our Miata?
All you have to do is subscribe on YouTube and follow along on Instagram.
We will be giving it away next May, which is our 5-year anniversary. We need 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and make sure to follow on Instagram.
Good luck!
Oh,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I got you a chair.
Well, I appreciate that.
So question number 1 is, why did you purchase this car versus others, and has it lived up to your needs?
So I'm just kind of a Porsche person. So my options are a little bit limited. We've owned many Porsches, and it's just the brand that I have fell in love with, right? So aside from Porsches, when I'm looking at the sport luxury market, you got like a Range Rover. Their reliability is really bad.
Yep.
In the American market, like the only thing that comes to my mind is like a Ford Explorer ST. It's not Porsche. So I was really between the Porsche Macan and an Audi SQ5. So the Audi SQ5 is great and everything, but it is not a Porsche.
No.
And this just really ticked all of my boxes, and I know how reliable it is. When you close the door, it's like a solid clunk. When you drive down the road, you don't hear road noise. I mean, Porsches are just extremely well put together machines.
Well, has it lived up to your needs?
It has lived up to my needs. The only thing that it hasn't done is we recently went on a road trip in the trunk space. Although it's large enough for most occasions, it was not large enough, so we got a lot of mosquitoes here.
We got mosquitoes today.
We had to take the Cayenne GTS, which is really terrible.
It's
second way.
Is that a downgrade?
to drive. But the trunk space is a little bit lacking if you're going to be taking family trips in it. We are able to go down to Alabama with it, but we just got to pack very carefully. But if we're going to go to a hotel for a week, it's a little bit different. Oh, I lost it for a minute.
Well, so real quick, I haven't asked you how the Abyss has been today.
It is actually pretty good. There are not any mosquitoes there. So
Can I join you in the Abyss?
Well, if you, maybe someday.
So how is this Porsche Macan S compared to your Cayenne GTS that you had before?
So I'm going to shoot it straight to you guys. The GTS range of Porsche, whether it's a 911, a Cayenne, a Macan, a Boxster, is my favorite. So the Cayenne GTS has been my favorite car for the past 6 years.
Really?
Yes. Jumping into this Macan S, because it has most of the options to make it at least appear like a GTS, such as the black trim panels and a couple other doodads, I have really, really enjoyed it. I think that given the choice between just the Cayenne GTS and the Macan S, I would take the Macan S because A, it's newer.
Yep.
It has a PDK. The double clutch transmission is beyond amazing. And it's just so much more upgraded than our Cayenne GTS. Now, if I was going to compare a 15 Cayenne GTS to a 15 Porsche Macan S,
We don't know.
I might be a little bit different, but for sure, in my scenario, the Macan S has treated me perfectly.
We have another question for you. What would you change about this car?
There aren't a lot of things that I would change about this. Obviously, I would get a Macan GTS.
Okay.
That's, if I was in a perfect world, that's what I would get. This does not have the optional sunroof.
Okay.
Panoramic roof. I would like that, but I don't miss it after driving it, if that makes any sense to you.
That's some good knowledge.
I would like Sport Chrono. I would like Sport Exhaust.
So you just want this to feel more sporty,
Even
though it is sporty.
A little bit more sporty. And the GTS obviously would lower it 10 more millimeters.
Yep.
And that's my optimal pick. But as far as this Macan S goes, it has pretty much every other option, which is important to look for in the used market because the price valuations are about similar no matter what you get.
So just find the one you want.
And that has the options that you're looking for, because the price is going to be about the same, regardless if you get pretty much a base car or one with a lot of ticked boxes.
Yeah. Would a base model Macan be enough?
I'm glad you're under the hood. So there's a big difference between the base model Macan and the Macan S. The base model Macan
has a 2-liter engine that is a 4-cylinder, comes from Volkswagen.
So the Macan S has a 6-cylinder, 340 horsepower, and it is a drastic difference. I mean, you're getting 90 more horsepower.
Yeah.
And you know us, we like our horsepower, so 90 more is a huge difference.
Because if you really think about it, the 2-liter that's in the base is essentially just a GTI engine.
And not only that, but we had a Tiguan with a version of that 2-liter engine, and that was my biggest complaint, was the lack of horsepower.
So I think from what we believe, you probably need at least an S, so you get the V6 and you get that 340 horsepower instead of 250.
And it's really not, on the used market, it's not really that much of a price difference.
Nope.
Question, which is obviously probably the most important, is how is it to drive?
I wouldn't know.
So I often don't want anybody else to drive this. I mean, you do drive it from time to time,
yep.
But I absolutely love driving this car. I think one of the greatest things that makes me love it so much is the PDK transmission.
Is that, it makes you really love it?
I love when you're like on the throttle and then you hit the flappy paddle and it has this like awesome, like, how do you explain the shift noise?
It's a fart.
I mean, I guess so. But in all honesty, like, the PDK is a lot of what makes this car what it is. There isn't another sporty SUV on the market that has a double clutch transmission like this.
Yeah, and does this car make you tired on a road trip?
It does not. Actually, these seats, there's a lot of adjustments. You can like add link to the front of the seat. I still don't quite know how that works. It's German magic. The bolsters are great. So we've driven like 20 hours is roughly what it takes us to get down to Alabama.
Okay. And we do it in one shot.
In one shot. For the first time ever, didn't even get tired driving.
What?
My back wasn't sore, my knees weren't sore. It was just a really enjoyable experience. The steering is super tight, and here's the thing that I love about the Macan more than the GTS. The Cayenne is wonderful.
Yep.
It is very much an SUV.
Okay.
It's as sporty of an SUV as you can get with the weight and everything. It's not quite a 911. A 911 is super sporty. The Macan, I've said this before, the Cayenne GTS and a 911, they have a baby. Bam! Macan. That is the best way to describe it.
I am so over you.
It's true. It is true. So it is the sportiest SUV I've ever driven, and actually when you're behind the wheel, it feels more like a sports car than it does a sports SUV. Well, I sure hope that you have liked this 6-month review video as much as I have loved driving the Macan for the last 6 months. To do a quick synopsis, there really aren't many negatives.
We tried to find some, actually.
So the Macan is just so well built, it's actually like unbelievable. The cargo space in the trunk, if you're looking for a full-size SUV, this is not it.
Okay.
A Cayenne definitely has a lot more rear cargo space than the Macan does, but the Macan makes up for it in about every single other aspect.
Okay, so thank you for watching, right?
Might as well click like, comment, subscribe, do a little awkward high five, and we'll see you very, very soon.
Surprise question. Did you like it enough to buy it again?
Of course I did. I would buy this. Next one, I would love to get a GTS and see what the difference is. Other than that, yes, I'd buy this 100 more times.